How is a 90-year-old moving better, thinking clearer, and living more independently than people 20 years younger? I'm revealing the 5 daily choices I make that doctors initially questioned and some even warned against, but now admit are exactly why I'm healthier, stronger, and more energetic at 90 than most of my friends in their 70s. These aren't safe, conventional recommendations you'll hear from every health expert. These are bold, research-backed practices that challenge what we've been told about aging appropriately. The third choice is the most controversial one, and experts initially warned it was dangerous at my age. But the research proves it's one of the most powerful anti-aging practices available to anyone willing to try it. Last week, my doctor reviewed my latest test results and just shook his head in disbelief. My bone density, muscle mass, and cognitive function scores are exceptional for someone my age, and frankly, better than many people decades younger. When he asked what I do differently from his other patients, I told him honestly about my 5 daily practices. He paused for a long moment, then admitted something surprising. I should probably discourage 3 of these based on standard protocols, but I absolutely cannot argue with your results. Bold choice. 1. I only eat 2 meals a day with no snacking. While everyone tells seniors to eat small, frequent meals throughout the day to maintain energy and blood sugar, I do the exact opposite and have for the past 8 years. I eat only 2 substantial meals daily with absolutely no snacking in between, and this eating pattern has transformed my metabolic health, energy levels, and overall vitality. Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine has published extensive research on time-restricted eating in older adults, and their findings validate what I've experienced personally. Eating within an 8 to 10 hour window, which naturally results in 2 larger meals rather than constant grazing, improves multiple metabolic health markers, reduces systemic inflammation throughout the body, enhances cellular repair through a process called autophagy, where cells clean out damaged components and may significantly improve longevity markers. The New England Journal of Medicine published a comprehensive review on intermittent fasting benefits, specifically noting positive outcomes for seniors when done appropriately. My eating pattern is simple and consistent every single day. I eat my first meal around 10 in the morning, usually eggs with vegetables or Greek yogurt with nuts and berries. I eat my second and final meal around 5 in the evening, typically including protein, vegetables, and healthy fats. Between these 2 meals, I consume nothing except water, black coffee, and plain tea without any sweeteners or cream. This gives my digestive system a full 17-hour rest period overnight and into the morning, allowing my body to focus on repair and cellular cleanup rather than constant digestion. My energy remains stable throughout the day without the crashes that come from frequent eating and blood sugar fluctuations. My last comprehensive metabolic panel showed markers that my doctor said looked like someone in their 60s, not their 90s. When you eat constantly throughout the day, even small healthy snacks, you prevent your body from ever activating its natural cellular cleanup processes. Insulin stays elevated, putting metabolic stress on your system continuously. Your digestive system never gets a break from processing food, which over years creates chronic inflammation and digestive issues. Autophagy, that critical cellular repair process, only activates during extended periods without food intake, so constant eating means constant cellular damage accumulation without adequate repair time. Geraldine, who's 87, switched to 2 meals daily after years of eating 5 small meals, and within 1 month her chronic digestive issues that had plagued her for a decade completely disappeared. The solution requires commitment, but no special foods or supplements. Start by eliminating all snacks between your 3 current meals and see how your body adapts over 2 weeks. Then gradually push your breakfast later by 30 minutes each week until you're eating your first meal around 10 or 11 in the morning. Eventually consolidate to 2 substantial, nutrient-dense meals within an 8-hour eating window. Make sure both meals contain adequate protein, healthy fats, and vegetables so you're truly nourished. Your cells are desperately waiting for time to clean and repair themselves. Give them that chance starting tomorrow morning. Bold choice 2. I lift real weights 3 times per week. I don't do gentle chair exercises or wave my arms around with soup cans. I lift actual weights that genuinely challenge my muscles. And this practice has preserved my strength, bone density, and independence in ways that nothing else could. 3 times each week, I spend 30 minutes doing resistance training with real dumbbells, resistance bands, and my own body weight. And the results are measurable and dramatic. Harvard Medical School and Tufts University have published groundbreaking research on resistance training in seniors over 85, showing remarkable improvements in muscle mass, bone density, balance, functional independence, and even cognitive function. The Mayo Clinic has published multiple studies demonstrating that resistance training is not only safe for people at advanced ages when done correctly, but it's actually essential for reducing fall risk, maintaining independence, and preventing the muscle and bone loss that leads to frailty. My resistance training routine is straightforward and was built gradually over time. I started 8 years ago with 3-pound dumbbells doing simple bicep curls and overhead presses, and I've progressively increased to using 8 to 10-pound dumbbells now. 3 mornings each week, I do 10 bicep curls, 10 overhead presses, 10 lateral raises for shoulders, and 10 rows for my back using dumbbells. I do squats while holding onto my kitchen counter for balance, working up to 15 repetitions. I use resistance bands for chest presses and back exercises. The key is that every exercise challenges me genuinely in the last few repetitions. If it feels easy, I increase the weight or resistance, because easy doesn't create adaptation and strength gains. If you avoid resistance training because you think you're too old or it's too risky, you're guaranteeing accelerated sarcopenia, which is age-related muscle loss that eventually steals your independence and quality of life. Your bone density will continue decreasing, dramatically raising your fracture risk from even minor falls. Your balance will deteriorate because weak leg muscles cannot stabilize your body quickly enough to prevent falls. You'll lose the ability to perform basic daily activities like carrying groceries, getting up from chairs without assistance, or climbing stairs independently. Wendell, who's 88, could barely lift his grandchildren or carry his own groceries 2 years ago. But after starting a simple weight training program with light dumbbells 3 times weekly, he's now stronger than he's been in a decade. The solution starts this week with minimal equipment. Buy 2 light dumbbells, starting with just 3 to 5 pounds if you're a complete beginner. 3 times each week, not consecutive days. Do these simple exercises: 10 bicep curls with each arm, 10 overhead presses, and 10 squats, holding your kitchen counter for stability. That's your starting point. When these become easy, increase to 5-pound or 8-pound dumbbells. Add 1 new exercise each month as you build confidence. Your muscles don't care how old you are. They will respond to challenge and grow stronger. Challenge them this week. Bold choice. 3. I take cold showers every single morning. This is the choice that concerned my doctor most initially, and it's the one that goes most strongly against conventional advice for seniors. But the scientific research behind cold exposure is absolutely undeniable. Every single morning for the past 5 years, I end my shower with 60 seconds of cold water, and this practice has strengthened my immune system, reduced inflammation, improved my circulation, and built remarkable mental and physical resilience. Before dismissing this as crazy or dangerous, understand that research from the Netherlands, published in multiple scientific journals, shows that regular cold water exposure activates brown adipose tissue, which burns calories and regulates metabolism, significantly boosts immune system function with measurable increases in white blood cells, improves circulation by forcing blood vessels to constrict and dilate, reduces systemic inflammation, and increases mental resilience through controlled stress exposure. Studies on hormesis, which is the principle that controlled stress makes biological systems stronger, demonstrate that brief cold exposure strengthens the cardiovascular system and triggers endorphin release that improves mood. Let me be absolutely clear about safety, because this practice requires gradual adaptation and isn't appropriate for everyone. If you have any heart conditions, uncontrolled blood pressure, or serious health issues, you must consult your doctor before attempting this. You must have grab bars installed in your shower for stability. You always start with a normal warm shower first to ensure your core body temperature is stable. Only at the very end do you turn the water to cold for a brief period. I began this practice very gradually, starting with just 10 seconds of cool water, not even cold, at the end of my warm shower. I added 5 seconds each week, slowly adapting over several months until I reached 60 seconds of genuinely cold water. My body adapted gradually, and now I actually look forward to it because of how energized and clear-headed I feel immediately afterward. When you avoid any form of beneficial stress like brief cold exposure, you miss powerful anti-inflammatory benefits that reduce chronic pain and disease risk. Your circulation remains sluggish instead of being actively strengthened through the vascular exercise that temperature changes provide. Your immune system stays in its baseline state rather than being regularly activated and strengthened. Your mental resilience to discomfort and stress remains weak because you never practice controlled exposure to challenge. Constance, who's 86, started ending her showers with just 20 seconds of cool water, and after 6 weeks of gradually increasing the duration and temperature, her chronic joint pain that had been constant for years decreased so noticeably that she reduced her pain-related doctor visits significantly. The solution requires medical clearance and gradual implementation. Tomorrow, after your normal warm shower, when you're completely clean and relaxed, turn the water to cool, not cold yet, for exactly 15 seconds while breathing steadily and calmly. Do this for 1 full week. The following week, increase to 20 seconds. Add 5 seconds each week until you reach 60 seconds. Only then start making the water colder rather than just cool. Never rush this progression. If your doctor approves this practice for your specific health situation, start with just 15 seconds of cool water tomorrow morning. Your body will adapt, and thank you. Bold choice. 4. I prioritize daily solitude over constant socializing. Everyone insists that seniors need constant social activity and that isolation is dangerous. And while chronic loneliness absolutely is harmful, I've learned that deliberate, chosen solitude is completely different and profoundly beneficial. Every single day, I spend at least 1 hour in intentional solitude with no other people, no television, no radio, and no distractions. And this practice has improved my emotional regulation, mental clarity, and overall sense of peace more than any other change I've made. Research from the University of Rochester, published in Personality and Social Psychology Review, makes a crucial distinction between harmful social isolation and beneficial intentional solitude. Their studies show that chosen solitude, when it's deliberate rather than forced, improves emotional regulation significantly, enhances creativity and problem-solving abilities, increases self-awareness and understanding of one's own thoughts and feelings, and reduces stress by providing necessary mental rest from constant stimulation and social demands. My daily solitude practice has a simple structure. Every morning, I spend 20 minutes journaling about my thoughts, feelings, and reflections from the previous day. Every afternoon, I sit in my favorite chair for 20 minutes of quiet meditation or simple breathing while looking out the window at nature. Every evening before bed, I read for 30 minutes in complete silence without any background noise or distractions. During these times, I'm not lonely because this solitude is chosen and purposeful. I'm processing my experiences, understanding my emotions, and giving my mind the quiet space it needs to rest and integrate everything I've encountered. This practice has made me more present and engaged during my social times because I'm not mentally exhausted or overstimulated. If you never spend intentional time alone in quiet reflection, you're never truly processing your emotions or experiences. They just accumulate without integration or understanding. Constant external stimulation from television, radio, other people, and activities prevents the self-reflection that's essential for emotional health and wisdom. You gradually lose your sense of self because you're always reacting to external input rather than checking in with your own thoughts and feelings. Anxiety increases because your nervous system never gets the stillness it desperately needs to reset and calm down. Nathaniel, who's 91, struggled with constant anxiety and restlessness until he started spending 30 minutes each morning in complete solitude and silence. And within a month, his anxiety decreased substantially, while his sense of clarity and contentment increased dramatically. The solution requires protecting time and space for yourself. Starting tomorrow, schedule 30 minutes of daily solitude at the same time each day to make it a consistent practice. Choose a time when you're naturally alone anyway, and simply eliminate all distractions. Turn off the television, silence your phone, and sit quietly. You can journal, meditate, pray, or simply sit and think. This is fundamentally different from loneliness because it's intentional, temporary, and restorative rather than forced and chronic. This practice isn't about avoiding people, it's about giving yourself the mental space to process life. Your mind desperately needs quiet to integrate experiences and emotions. Give yourself that gift today. Bold choice. 5. I learn complex skills, not senior-friendly activities. I absolutely refuse to limit myself to activities that are deemed age-appropriate or senior-friendly, and instead I deliberately choose to learn genuinely difficult skills that challenge me cognitively in ways that simple puzzles or games never could. Currently, I'm learning basic website coding, studying Mandarin Chinese, and taking advanced photography courses online. And these challenging pursuits keep my mind sharp, my confidence high, and my daily life filled with purpose and accomplishment. The National Institute on Aging and researchers at the University of California, San Francisco, have published compelling research showing that learning genuinely difficult skills like foreign languages, musical instruments, or complex technology creates significantly stronger neural pathways and provides far better cognitive protection than simple crossword puzzles or brain game apps. The research is clear that challenge level matters tremendously. The harder and more complex the learning, the greater the cognitive benefit, and the stronger the protection against dementia and cognitive decline. I started learning to code basic websites when I was 88 years old with absolutely no background in technology beyond basic email and web browsing. I enrolled in an online beginner's course not designed for seniors, but for anyone wanting to learn, and I committed to practicing twice weekly, regardless of how frustrating or confusing it felt initially. It took me 4 months to build my first simple web page, and the sense of accomplishment was extraordinary. I'm now studying Mandarin Chinese using a language learning app, practicing 20 minutes daily, even though it's incredibly difficult, and I progress slowly. I take advanced photography courses learning technical concepts like aperture, shutter speed, and composition that genuinely challenge my understanding. None of these activities are easy or senior-friendly, and that's precisely why they're so beneficial for my brain and confidence. When you limit yourself to easy, age-appropriate activities, your brain becomes comfortable and stops forming new neural connections because comfortable doesn't require adaptation or growth. Cognitive reserve, which is the brain's resilience against decline and damage, cannot build without genuine challenge and struggle. Activities that become too easy stop providing any real cognitive benefit, regardless of how much time you spend on them. Your skills and abilities plateau, or actually decline, because you're not pushing yourself beyond your current comfortable capacity. Lucille, who's 89, always wanted to play violin but thought she was far too old, finally took private lessons at 85 with a teacher who didn't treat her differently because of her age. And now, 4 years later, she performs regularly with a community orchestra. The solution requires choosing one genuinely difficult skill you've always dismissed as too hard or told yourself it's too late to learn. Enroll in a real beginner class or course that's not specifically designed for seniors, but for anyone wanting to learn that skill. This could be a foreign language, a musical instrument, coding, advanced photography, painting, or anything that genuinely interests you and challenges you significantly. Commit to practicing or attending class at least twice weekly for a full 3 months before judging your progress or deciding whether to continue. Expect frustration, confusion, and slow progress initially because that struggle is exactly what builds your cognitive resilience. Your chronological age is completely irrelevant to your brain's ability to learn and grow. Your brain is actively waiting for a real challenge that makes it work hard and adapt. Start today. At 90 years old, my results speak louder than conventional advice ever could. These 5 bold daily choices go against much of what we're told is safe and appropriate for our age. Yet every single one is backed by solid scientific research and my own measurable health outcomes. Being healthy and vital at advanced age isn't about playing it safe and following every conventional rule. It's about making informed, bold choices based on current research and your own body's response. Don't accept physical and mental decline as inevitable just because you've reached a certain age. These 5 practices prove that you have far more control over your vitality than you've been led to believe. Which of these 5 bold choices surprises you most? Which one will you try first, and which one scares you? Tell me in the comments right now because I genuinely want to know which one resonates with you and which feels most challenging. If you know another senior who's accepting decline as inevitable without questioning it, share this video with them immediately because these practices could transform their health and independence. Hit that like button if you're ready to make bold choices regardless of your age, and subscribe to this channel because I'm sharing what actually works at advanced ages. Not just what sounds safe, but keeps you weak and declining.